Welcome back, everyone, to this week's episode of Booking the Territory, the Professional Wrestling Podcast, where today we are covering WCW Saturday Night on TBS from April the 27th, 1991. And we're in a new month. It is now October here in our area of 2022. I'm sitting here with Doc and not Hardbody Harper. We expect him to join us shortly, but you all know how that goes after being a listener of ours for any number of years. Before I throw it to Doc, special shout out to our largest page contributors monthly, Disrespectfully Classy, Marky Blassie, Mike Childry, Joe Weiss, good old Justin. Thank you for your generous support on Patreon each and every month and as the sponsors of this show. And shout out to not a new patron, but one patron bumped up to annual this month or this week, Kevin N. Thank you for doing that. Doc, let me throw to you. You seem to be riding high. I'm not really quite sure why, but I guess you got ginger fever. What is it? What's going on, pal?
Anytime you can get a football win with a ginger taking the snaps, you got to take it like ginger snaps. You know what I mean?
Ginger snaps. Wow.
I'm feeling good,
nice.
bro. Maybe
go ahead.
Maybe the Cowboys aren't supposed to have a black quarterback, you know?
Yeah, y'all are the most unstable creatures of all time. You were suicidal looking for the Burger King cooler 10 days ago. And
that's the beauty of football. That's the beauty of football is that it can all change in the blink of an eye. You just have to stay ready for it.
No. We don't all want to be suicidal after a loss. You know, I think that's just common to your kind that like the blue and silver. Yes, your kind.
Well, I got a little confused at the beginning because you were saying new months and it's not that month yet. If you're following at home, last night we successfully went up to the sewer of the world, New York, and took care of business against the New York Football Giants. Taught them a lesson. Really looked a lot better than the Giants too, if I must say that. Hey, when you can pressure the quarterback like we did last night, that's a game changer.
Phil Allen says, y'all still ain't shit.
We'll see. Okay, so let me ask you this. This is a legitimate question for you, Mike.
No, nothing's legitimate when it comes to the NFL and the
This
Cowboys.
Is a legitimate question. Have you seen enough from Jalen Hurts to think that you and I were wrong about his inabilities?
I have a rule about each new football season. I need 4 games played, generally speaking, before I start making some. You know, I know we go back and forth. You know, first game of the year, you know, I was messing with you. We were going back and forth about how bad the Cowboys are going to be. But I have a rule. I need 4 games. I need a month's worth of play generally to make.
That's a good rule because a lot of people seem to not understand that the NFL is full of 32 teams, most of them that can play good football at any given moment. This past weekend with a bunch of teams that everybody had just decided to give the crown to not winning. And they're like, well, wait, what the fuck? Well, it's the NFL, bro. These teams are working hard to get these W's and get their own rep going. So they're not just going to roll over. It's not like college where there's some just pitiful, shameful matchups. Like, we're a month into this thing and you're still playing New Mexico. I mean, that's pitiful. It's time to play real competition. In the NFL, there's competition every week.
I love how you just take a shot at LSU for no reason whatsoever. Like
I just gave an example. The fact that you made it personal about yourself is up to you.
No, you could have picked any number of colleges, and you picked pathetic New Mexico.
So I'm looking. I kind of figured, well, maybe we need to lose and get some draft pick in here. But now that sitting at 2-1, I mean. Sky's the limit. I think I need to. Well, first of all, I need to recalibrate my NFL picks because once Jimmy G got in there, to the starting role, San Francisco will make the playoffs. And I don't like them, but that's just the way that's going to go in this NFC.
You sure about that?
Yeah. Once he gets rolling, he'll be all right, dude. He starts once he gets his swagger back and starts like hitting on like every female that lives, he'll be all right.
Okay. I think you need to retract that. He was caught with a porn star out on a date. I wouldn't say that characterizes him as a womanizer or hitting on every woman that lives. I mean, let's be real here. I'm not a Niners fan, but I'm not about to, Well,
you never heard
you get away with that one.
You never heard that story?
No.
That he got traded out of New England because he was banging the owner's young girlfriend?
Was this woman of age?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay, and I mean, like,
but Kraft is like, Kraft is like 80, and his girlfriend was like 28, and Jimmy G was like, "All right, I'll make her run at that."
Okay, so it's not a crime then. It's
not a crime. It's just a questionable judgment to bang the owner's girlfriend.
Well, no, you were making it sound like this dude's out there stalking women and causing problems in that way. That's why I'm saying,
once he gets his Joe Namath on, his Ric Flair on, he'll be he'll be just fine. And
he'll be helicoptering it, right? Okay,
exactly. That's his.
And to answer your question about Jalen Hurts, he is looking much better this year. I gotta say, he's looking a whole lot better as an actual quarterback. So
I'm a little more, man. I'm a little more nervous about that situation up there than I was a while back. I thought.
Well, at least you can admit it.
Well, we're here to talk about football. Why would I lie and waste people's time here?
Because it's what you do.
I thought, I can leave and you can do that.
Okay, continue. Cooper Rush.
I thought they had put enough around him up there for him to be successful enough this year. And that could still be the case. But, these teams, hey, when Carson Wentz came in that first year, I was like, shit, we're going to be battling this fool for the next decade. And then it turns out the ball gets super glued to his hand once it's snapped, and he won't throw it. So that became a non-issue. So we'll have to wait and see on the old Eagles there. But I got to tell you, our defense is better than I thought. And I don't know. I'm in no way a Cooper Rush fan. Let's get that clear. He somehow is 3-0 but say what you will about that fella, that little ginger fella. He's now won himself a career in the league as a backup. Don't you think?
Tell your stupid owner to shut up. Talking about there's a QB, he's dying for a QB controversy.
If I got close enough to the owner, it wouldn't be about the backup quarterback. Now, but good for him. Good for that guy, the ginger, because he's won himself a backup job for a long time, don't you think?
Hell, there's some starting places. There's some places that might want him as a starter. Let me just say it like that.
Okay. And no, we don't. I expect Dak to be slotted back in, and we're going to get our chocolate back in the lineup and go to the top. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
How are the crab legs down on the bayou?
They got more problems than him.
Okay. I didn't see the game. I was out at the soccer fields, so I didn't get a chance to see what happened, but it didn't look good.
No. Offense don't move the ball. The line can't block. Sometimes Jameis holds it too long. Harper, how you doing? I'm complaining about the Saints offense right now.
Well, the offense, the special teams.
It's a total team effort outside of the defense.
Are you in a cinder block building trying to work out the algorithms for Dennis Allen and the rest of the team?
Yeah, because
I'm still on the cell phone.
Oh no.
Oh.
The Wi-Fi just got turned on, and I can't find the fucking cord for my computer to charge it.
Gotcha.
So I'm afraid I'm going to turn it on, and it's going to die in a fucking half an hour.
Well, Harper, when we last talked to you, and we'll go ahead and share that was a week ago, you were supposed to be getting your internet set up the next day. What happened?
It didn't happen because AT&T it's fucking incompetent as fuck. It just happened today.
Well, when you're the biggest service provider in the world, you don't have to be competent. You just have to figure out how to charge more money for less services.
Yeah, fucking fuck.
So what have you been doing the past week without the interwebs?
Nothing.
Beating off in a sock?
I've been doing nothing. I've been having to go to the bar just to watch fucking football. I can't just turn on TV.
And that sounds great because there's a point in your life when you're young.
That
and you're like,
sounds great, but it gets to a point it's like, fuck. I can't just sit and chill and just watch fucking... I got to go to the fucking bar just to watch goddamn Monday Night Football and shit. Fuck that.
It's an extra step in the process. I mean, the older you get, you don't need that.
Yes.
We're looking for process efficiency here at our age.
Right.
But you do have internet now, so you can watch the Wednesday night Mac Attack football game.
No, that's tomorrow. Huh?
Yeah, probably like Eastern Michigan versus Central Michigan, maybe.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll take that.
Football's good. I mean, I like it right now. The Cowboys seem to. I have cleared my search history, looking for Burger Kings near me in Google, so that I would have one no matter where I go. I have one close in case I get the urge. Notice how Mike didn't try to talk me out of it either. He was just like, kill yourself if you want. I don't care.
Hey, man, if you want to swing in the cooler, that's up to you, dude.
Oh, come on.
That's
let me tell you all a little story about the first time Doc and I we were having that discussion about the Burger King cooler on the show a month or two ago, whenever it was. Doc gets to work the next day and says, "You know something? Technically, it's not swing from the cooler; it's swing in the cooler."
Yeah, you're swinging in the cooler.
There was some thought put to, well, if I ever had to actually do that, it wouldn't be swinging from the cooler. I'd have to actually get in that sumbitch and swing in it.
What if our first sponsorship is from Burger King because we were trying to commit suicide in one of their walk-in freezers?
That's nice.
Have it your way. Okay, well, I brought my belt.
Oh, sometimes you got to break the rules.
Sir, what do you mean you no longer sell the Great American Hamburger? I'm going to contact corporate about this.
Buddy, knock yourself out. I'm a 17-year-old high schooler. I don't give two shits about the Great American Burger, okay?
Ours was always where did the Italian chicken go?
Oh, God. Are you kidding me?
I'd be like, Italy.
I like that thing.
Well, what? Yeah, I mean, it was okay, but damn, it ain't no need to go commit suicide over.
For real.
I like them fucking Burger King chicken sandwiches.
They're good.
Yeah, no, huh?
But you don't want to be a prick in the lineup queue because every once in a while, some of them will be in there for a few hours.
But I used to like. Well, it's still like how they got the little pictures and they take like a Sharpie and they scratch out pickles or whatever you don't want.
Well, I guess sounds like you might need a job there.
Yeah.
Harper's comments to that are,
"Son of a bitch."
Yeah.
That was what I would say on those afternoons. Like when you'd be back there, like weekday afternoons during the summer when you were doing your summer job, and you're back there, and you've been just chilling for a while, and there's nobody in the restaurant. It's like 2:30 in the afternoon. Lunch is over.
Oh God!
And you, I mean, we're not making tips here, so we're not. I don't care if we sell nothing. You know?
Right.
That works great for my plan. Like
whatever
it is I'm doing.
And I'd be like, go mop the floor. Go put the garbage down.
I mean, if I got told that, I'd walk around and like act like I didn't hear it or something. But you're the only person in the kitchen for the afternoon because it's slow. and you hear that drive-through ding, and
Ding,
man,
ding.
the Polly Walnut, son of a bitch.
I feel like I've been stabbed in the heart.
Right, and all I have to do is put one burger between two buns and slap a few condiments on it, wrap it, and send it. But you would have thought I had been asked to scale Mount Everest.
Yeah.
Bro, one night I was closing, and we had a long line, man, on that drive-through. That drive-through was so long. So, I mean, the damn thing just keeps going off. Ding, ding, like the beep keeps going off. One dude, we weren't answering it quick enough. So it beeps and it's on, so we can hear what this dude's saying. He starts cursing. These MFs taking too long. And that dude took his hand and slapped the living piss out of that speaker so hard that he broke it. And then we really couldn't take his order. That was a fun night. That guy would
have got a free Whopper and a hearty handshake from everybody in the kitchen.
Right, we could see him on the camera. I mean, he backhanded the. I can see it to this day. This dude walloped that thing. Whop! Just smacked the piss out of it, and all you heard was.
I told you. I think I told you on the show tonight that I was taking an order and the box got hit by lightning.
Oh shit,
dude! It sounded like the Lord God Almighty above picked up the restaurant and slammed it back down on the ground. And the last thing I could hear was the customer screaming while this was happening, and then that thing went dead. And I was like, holy shit, we got it. So we ran out the back door because that's where, like the speaker was. That shit was smoking. Just cried. And we were like, can we close?
Yeah.
It's like, this is the greatest thing ever.
There's too many parallels, dude. Yours got struck by lightning. Mine got struck by an angry motorist who wanted his food.
It's amazing how much ridiculous, dumb, memorable shit goes on at places where people are getting paid substandard living wages.
Yes.
And it's amazing that anything in this world in those environments gets done. And if you really experienced it as a worker, you wouldn't be excited about it visiting it as a customer.
I used to like the onion rings. I didn't even know if they still had them.
Why'd you stop liking them?
No, I mean, I still do. I just haven't been in Burger King in 80 million years.
Yeah, I don't know. Last time I had Burger King.
For real.
The Saints keep losing, and maybe you can slide on into one.
Maybe I could have it my way.
That's
I don't
fucked up.
mean to alarm you, assistant manager who's 22, but there's a man dead in our walk-in.
I'll walk in.
Be a white male hanging from a noose.
You know that funny looking fellow that was trying to get some onion rings in a chicken sandwich here a minute ago?
Yeah.
He got tired of waiting and said something about Jameis Winston, and now he's dead in the walk-in.
Yeah, he said something about Von Erich thing, and that's the last we heard. What?
So,
all right, Doc.
Hey, I want to throw a big shout out and fist pump to the sky for all of our listeners, the many, many listeners that live in Florida. Harper lit his prayer candle, prayed to the Saint Hurricane candle, and steered this hurricane over to Florida, and it looks like it's going to do some damage. So if you're listening to us from Florida, hopefully you're listening to this while you're,
I guess a fucking car leaving.
Well, yeah. I would evacuate. The time is now.
Harper's only a year removed from dealing with a hurricane.
Yeah. Well, I was in fucking Pasadena for fucking 2 weeks. What the fuck it was.
Yeah,
I like that
whatever
shit.
it was.
Harper needs to move to Texas.
Bro,
That's
let me
when I
tell
got
you
my
something.
fucking Clayton Kershaw jersey from that big ass fucking flea market.
I
We
know
got
this
flea
for a
markets all
fact.
over the place, bro.
If Harper and Lady Harper moved to the Dallas Fort Worth area, he would go back to New Orleans as infrequently as I do.
Everything's here.
Yeah, I mean, I got like an amusement park, huh? A Six Flags.
We got Six Flags. We got like 5 Top Golfs.
There's so much stuff. There's too much.
There's like a
stuff.
place over in North Dallas where you can like skydive inside.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
expensive,
but you could do it.
How high is the jump?
No, it's not a jump, Harper. It's like one of those indoor skydiving things where it's basically a big old fan under you.
That thing that just blows you around.
Yeah, it blows you around.
We got a baseball team here too. You don't have that down there.
Yeah, but they suck.
Oh,
yeah, but the Dodgers would come through every couple of years.
That's true. And you got a hockey team.
We got a hockey team. We have a real basketball team.
Yeah.
that won a title. That's the only reason he said that.
That's true.
Man.
And then, like, I mean, Lady Harper would have to get back in shape because the broads here are thoroughbreds.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's messed up. So you're saying she's out of shape?
No. She just have to make sure she keeps herself in top shape.
Oh,
you can't bring a Harper to this area and not have broads like drooling.
Oh my
and shit.
God! With all the Latino women in this area,
That's what I'm saying.
I like to hook those horns right up your ass.
Well, Jesus!
Come
on, man!
I mean, bruh, what is wrong with you?
We got the State Fair of Texas here. You can
See, Mike, it's the type of stuff I'm talking about. Look, I've been trying to be quiet the last couple of weeks, but freaking Harper coming up here talking about hooking a girl's horns in the ass. Or what? I mean, talk about JYD. Talk about Bruno. Oh, Darren. Okay,
so
State Fair
he seems like the kind of guy that might have a Cambodian girlfriend because she don't know really how to talk back.
Well, that's messed up.
Come on.
So,
really?
Hey, Mike, I forget why I was looking this up, but in the past week, I looked up how many people live in this metroplex of ours. Would you like to take a guess?
8 million.
Is it 6 million?
No, Mike's real close. It was 7.7 million people.
God damn.
Right.
Yeah, dude, it's too much.
But
it's really spread out.
Our third biggest city is probably bigger than New Orleans.
Oh, yeah. I mean, put it this way, Pasadena, where my aunt lives, which is, like the metro part of Houston, that's bigger than fucking New Orleans. And Pasadena is just a big suburb.
Right. There ain't nothing there but like maybe an IKEA and about 4 Home Depots.
Walmarts, exactly. Fucking right. Some, Mexican restaurants.
Right. Well, we've been on for 25 minutes now. Nobody said anything about wrestling, so we probably need to get headed over towards the review.
Well, no, we got a 5-star, Doc.
Well, I was going to hit that on the way. So we did get a 5-star review this week, and I want to take the opportunity whenever we get blessed with blessings, we need to give thanks to the deity of our choice. We're an inclusive podcast, so we don't make subscribe that you have to pray to any one god. You can pick your own. This 5-star review says 5 stars.
All that for a 5-star review. I'm just waiting.
It comes from Guy 1088. Do you know who that is, Mike?
I just based on that Apple handle, I'm not sure who that is. But I'm sure he's been listening for a long time, and we appreciate him.
Well, he must be because of some of the things we're going to hear about here. We get this. We find Guy telling us the greatest podcast out there. Yesterday, today, tomorrow. Forever love listening to Mike try to control Doc and Harper. With Doc being the best heel in the show, and Harper showing up late because of dropping a poop. or getting day drunk and falling asleep. A day without the best, greatest podcast ever.
Wow.
That's nice.
And hopefully we'll have him back, Harper, back on a headset next week. The reason you're hearing all that background sound and audio just sounding weird, it's because Harper's on his phone, everybody. So just bear with us.
Yeah,
that's a great 5-star review. That's a great 5-star review. Thank you, Guy 1088. We appreciate that. So if you want your 5-star review read on air, all you got to do is submit one on Podcast Addict or Apple Podcasts, and we will read that buck on air, give you credit for it. Also, the best way to support the show is by becoming a patron at tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. That's tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. There's some pay-per-views and clashes coming up. We got the world-class shows, the ECW shows, the NWA Power shows. All of that is available on Patreon, tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. And remember, if you want a free month on Patreon, all you got to do is email me. If you've never been a patron and you're like, man, I'm curious, I want to see what that's like, email me to bookingtheterritory@gmail.com, and I'll hook you up with a free month. Jesus Christ, Harper.
What?
Are you moving? What's going on with your phone?
Did you dip the
fucking dog?
Dude, it's like he dipped that phone in some Chick-fil-A sauce or something and started eating it.
Yeah, I feel bad because I haven't seen her all day, so I fucking let her get up here with me. It was a fucking mistake. You all right? I'm not yelling at you.
Fucking dog. Hey, look, nobody loves dogs more than this podcast. But dogs and podcasts don't mix.
No. Fucking.
I would tell him to hit the mute button, but he might hang up by accident.
Doesn't sound like you've shaved recently either.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I got to shave. Because this Tiffany's sister's getting married Saturday, so I got to shave.
She's got another sister that's getting married?
Yeah. Next Saturday. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, Doc, are you ready to talk some wrestling?
Well, I guess we have to since there wasn't any baseball to interrupt.
So we're talking WCW Saturday Night on TBS from April the 27th of 1991. Once again, Harper's on his phone. That's where you're hearing noise. He's still working on getting that internet done and all that good stuff if you missed the show opening. The show opens with some footage from the Japan Super Show with Flair and Fujinami in Tokyo. Just a quick clip that they show of it. Doc, I didn't ask you before we started doing this. Did your notes get eaten again?
I have figured out the workaround, and so I have a full compliment. Oh my God!
What's wrong?
Oh, he can't see her because
he can't see her. Oh my God!
It's missing again, wasn't it?
Yeah, it sure is. Jesus Christ! Look at her looking at. She looks like she wants to just lick the side of Jim Ross's face. She's so happy to be there.
Wow!
I got distracted. No, I've got my whole notes here, bro.
Okay, good. I just thought I'd ask.
If it eats the first page, I just put a dummy page in front of it.
Very smart.
You start on page 2.
But we still don't know why it's eating page 1.
Look, the older you get, why shit happens is far less important than whether it does or doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I'm not going to crawl inside this thing and figure out what bits and bytes and programming has caused this thing to do this. I don't give a shit. Do I have a simple workaround that doesn't cost me any money or make me any more money or do anything else? I'll do that.
Well, it's already been a reverse money printer. Mrs. Doc just doesn't know.
What isn't?
Yeah, just saying.
Hey, so Flair is like super extra heelish in that Japan clip. He was very disrespectful and loud. And we're going to get Pillman and Wyndham today.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was in Japan, too, though. That's the other way to look at it. He's the heel.
Yeah.
So we'll go to the ring for the first match, and it is Big Van Vader, and Rip Rogers And I got a timestamp from this one, but Doc, I'll throw it to you first.
Rip looked nervous when he saw Vader come out. I think that's smart. And dude, I commend Rip for wanting to get a head start and jumping Vader from behind. But this was tremendous. What happens?
Yeah, it was kind of suicide. So Vader's on the ground with the helmet, and he makes the helmet blow the smoke after he takes it off, and Vader's summoning up the smoke here, and I mean I think it's always cool. I've said it a million times. I used to see Vader with that headgear and be like, oh man, that's great. Well, Rip Rogers, when Vader's messing with the headgear, comes off the top rope to hit Vader on the floor, and Vader no-sells it. And then Vader headbutts Rip, and Rip sells it. And then, well, Vader takes the headset and he puts Rip's face where the smoke is coming out of, so the smoke can blow in Rip's eyes.
Oh no!
And I thought that was tremendous.
That was tremendous.
And Rip is selling it, and he does it again. Look at that! It's
awesome.
Great. So, yeah, Rip Rogers takes the smoke to the face from the headset and the headgear, and I just thought it was.
It's little things.
It's great.
It's little things that mean a lot, and Rip's always involved in doing little things that enhance his couple of minutes of screen time.
And we should have known at that point that the match wasn't going to go long. Doc, did you have any other notes from this?
No, this was destruction. But my question is, how is Vader a babyface here?
Yeah, for real. He was never a babyface there, right? No.
I think two things. One, the whole headgear thing is cool. You see the smoke blow out. It's just one of those things. And then two, not saying Rip is like super over, but you got to remember he's always the heel enhancement talent in there for the most part. So, and he's been on TV. I mean, the fans know who he is. I mean, he's not a star, but he's an over enhancement talent if there's such a thing. And he's always the heel, so I just think that's why they're cheering for Vader. And look, you got to look at what Vader's doing too. When he first got in the ring after that smoke blew in Rip's face, he's egging on the crowd, asking for the cheer. So, yeah. I mean, it's more than just one reason why the fans are cheering Vader here.
Well, and I think a lot of it is he's impressive, but because he keeps going back to Japan, they can't really get into the storyline. So if you're just watching him without any character development, he's impressive.
Also, don't forget. Nothing. Your dog, I guess. I remember when Luger brought Vader in to be his surprise tag partner. And Luger was the face. So, I mean, they've seen him and cheered him already at like Center Stage and Georgia Mountain Center.
Yeah.
And he just came off the ropes and just clobbers poor Rip Rogers, and Rip gets pinned. And that's how the first match ends. Any other thoughts, Doc?
No, I mean, we had a nice start to this thing here.
Yeah, we started hot.
Hey, whoa. Can you go back to the commercials? I actually have a commercial this time.
Oh.
7:30. I wish you had eyes on this, Harper.
7:30.
Oh, look at
Topps
that.
40 years of baseball.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a commercial for baseball cards?
Yes.
Wow.
Look at that. I would have peed my pants a little bit.
Sure is. They're showing.
They were back then.
You need to go look at this in the share drive.
They just had some 13, 14-year-old boy pawing a 1952 Mickey Mantle like it was his dick. Just bending it and all kinds of shit. Look at that. That's the best commercial ever.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. God, baseball cards.
Mm.
Love having.
You know what Little Latrell told me about baseball cards?
What's that?
There's no point in me collecting them because I don't know anybody anyway.
Well, he's not wrong.
Right. So he does football and basketball and soccer. Everything but baseball cards.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I know. That's why the sport's doomed, though.
That's a good point because he's young. Well, let's go to the next match after the commercials. It's El Gigante versus one of our Smoky Mountain favorites, Nature Boy Paul Lee. Except he's just Paul Lee here. And I think this thing went a minute and a half, and El Gigante wins. He puts the claw on Paul Lee and wins. And
Yeah, God, this fucking a claw.
Doc, did I miss anything with that?
My only note was that Paul Lee was really trying to nature it up out there.
It's pretty bad when Paul Lee's a star in the ring, right?
Well, that too.
That sounds horrible.
And then, yeah, my note was this was mercifully short.
Yeah, it was 90 seconds. Again, it's just bad that the star is Paul Lee. Look at this. It's just dumb.
And it's really bad that okay, so is this the point where somebody in the back's like, this isn't working, what can we do? Or are they having to just be like, look?
This is the WCW version of the Mummy.
That's a great point.
Somebody in the back wanted this stupidity to happen. Well, I think
damn it if we're not going to do it.
Yeah, we're just going to stick with it.
Look, I know it's dumb. You know it's dumb. But Herd wants to do it. So what are you going to do? You want to tell him that it's stupid?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
After that, we go to the WCW Superbrawl Control Center with Gordon Soley. And there's, Soley makes the announcement where he talks about Flair versus Fujinami for the world title at Superbrawl. And then we get Soley talking about Reed versus Ron Simmons. Pillman's going to take on Wyndham. There's a couple of real quick promos with Pillman and Wyndham in this segment. And then Soley runs down much more of the card that you can see Doc and I break down at tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Doc, I actually have an idea for this. I was thinking on like one of our Fridays off, we actually do the Saturday night that we would normally do. And just like we did with RoboCop, the pay-per-view, we have Harper on for Superbrawl. So we'll record on our normal night. And then that way we can all revisit the monkey that did the Von Erich thing and the Burger King thing and the Bears pissing on the stage.
Will Harper have his tuxedo on for pay-per-view?
Oh, yes. It's a big deal.
And will AT&T have the internet working?
Yeah, it's working. I just can't find my fucking charger.
I mean, we're like 3 weeks away from that, but
yeah.
But I think it'd be good to have, because it's been a long time since we talked about that damn monkey doing the Von Erich thing. And then you and I, Doc, recently talked about how much that Oz set cost. Because Sullivan gave that information up on his podcast a while back. So there's some topics that we haven't even talked about related to it. So I think we should do that. That way we'll have Harper on for the pay-per-view. And
can't wait to cover that event.
Cover the event. That's an old inside joke. All right. Again, you can only get that at tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT though. And much, much more will be on that pay-per-view review.
Hey, on paper, this pay-per-view seems pretty good.
There's some good stuff on it. I mean, Young Pistols and the Freebirds. We'll see that a million times. Ricky Morton versus Dan Spivey. Big Josh versus Larry Zbyszko. Arn and Bobby. I mean, that right there is worth the price of admission, in my opinion. Arn Anderson versus Bobby Eaton. So, I mean, there's good stuff on it. Flair and Fujinami, Pillman and Wyndham. Good stuff. Good stuff. So, yeah, we'll break it all down for you all on Patreon. Doc, any other thoughts on Gordon Soley here in this segment?
He seemed remarkably lucid for a guy that was probably 18 sheets to the wind.
Come on.
How much gin do you think he had absorbed? Yes,
as much as he could get his hands on.
What do you think was his brand?
Beefeater.
Beefeater?
Yeah.
It wasn't Tanqueray, I can tell you that much.
Dre walked in with a gang of Tanqueray.
Bro, that That is
Gordon
the
Kelly
song.
walked in with a gang of Tangeray.
That is the song that first made me taste gin.
Oh God.
And I was like, these dudes have lost their minds.
Well, you need the juice.
Bruh, there is nothing, Boogie, there is nothing about gin and nothing about juice that Boogie wants to drink, okay? Boogie, nothing about you says tastes good.
I'm sorry.
Either one of y'all like gin?
Not particularly.
With juice?
Not particularly.
No.
I know people who think cognac is not tasty. But cognac is a million times better than some damn gin. Gin is the nastiest stuff. It's one of the nastiest liquors there is. Like I could do vodka, I could do whiskey. There's so many liquors I could drink. Gin, gin and tequila. Get out of here. I don't want nothing to do with either one of them.
Did you do something bad once on tequila?
I told you the story. I was on a business trip one time, and I was on business in Los Angeles, and my buddy had some tequila, and we wasn't doing anything crazy. It was just me, him, a couple other coworkers. We were just chilling at the in the room. We were just, I don't remember, watching a game or something. It was one night, and man, I didn't drink a ton of it, but I drank enough to know I'm never drinking that again.
Did you try to make out with one of your friends?
No, I never
you didn't drink
felt
enough.
so bad in my entire life.
You haven't what?
I've never felt so bad in my entire life after drinking than I felt that night.
So you cheated
Like,
your company the next day, basically.
Worst hangover on the planet. Well, the funny part is I did have to fly home the next day. So I get home, and my girlfriend at the time, she's picking me up from the airport. And she was like, "Why are you so tired? Y'all didn't even go." I was like, I had one or two tequila. Me and I won't say his name. We're drinking. Had a couple of shots of tequila. He's
Jamal.
Then I get in trouble with her. You're supposed to be on a business trip. You're out there partying with your friends, huh? I'm like, you know what?
Sounds like she was the smart one in the relationship.
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
Who you fucking?
My hand?
Do I sound better?
No, you sound a million times worse.
No?
Are you on the computer? What's going on? Jesus.
No, I hooked up my fucking my fucking earbuds. I thought maybe
that sounds 10 times worse.
This ought to be a commercial for AT&T. We ought to do reverse commercials. We ought to do terrorism marketing, where if you don't pay us, we'll talk bad about your company.
Sir, I think you can get sued by doing that.
Oh, that's extortion, right?
I mean, I'm not a legal expert, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say maybe that's not a good idea, okay?
I thought it was being a brand influencer. I might have mixed that up a little bit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you sound worse, Harper, on the Bluetooth thing.
We'll have Harper call the marketing departments of companies tomorrow. Hey, look, here's the deal. You pay us some money or we're going to trash your company on our next show.
we go to the next match. Dustin Rhodes versus Magnum Force number 2. And this doesn't go on too long, a couple minutes. Dustin with a nice boot to the gut, and then he hits the Bulldog on Magnum Force number 2, and Dustin gets the much-deserved victory. Doc, did you have anything from this?
I felt like at the beginning it went a little slow because we were showing off that Dustin could do more than just punch. He was technically capable as well. Did Dustin you just had it up, steal, borrow, do something with Barry's finish and use it as his setup?
It did look like it. You're talking about the big lariat?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it did look like it.
Okay.
Because he shoots him off, and then he does the flying lariat.
But we say it every week. He continues to impress. He's very smooth.
No.
Oh, God. What's wrong?
The fuck? Hold on.
I feel like we need to follow this.
Bro,
Let's
you
go
know what
back
it
to the
sounds.
locker room. Let's go back to the locker room where Hardbody Harper is frustrated.
You know what it sounds like right now?
He's getting blown.
No, well, that too, but it sounds like if you ever listen to Kevin Sullivan's pod, this is how Sullivan's audio is
All the time. Yeah.
all the time.
Without the intermediate violent cussing.
I mean, you tell me. I mean, what the hell are they doing?
It was the North Tower.
It was the
They
North
ruined it.
Tower.
I used to think it was Bischoff, but he apologized to me, so I love him.
I mean, what do you think? You think if Reigns would have been booked that way?
JP, you're a smart guy.
Oh, he killed me with it. I mean, Sullivan just is a nice dude. That's what's crazy. Cause like he comes across as nice, but the audio, oh my God. I asked Doc, I said, it still sounds like I hadn't listened in months. I turned on one episode because I wanted to hear something Doc sent me. And I immediately text Doc, is he still getting blown on the show?
I think he's gone to he makes food or something in his kitchen while the show is occurring.
He's cooking gumbo, frying fish.
I swear to Christ that Harper's just rubbing the microphone of his phone against the stubble on his face.
But bro, I fucking know. It's just I had y'all on speaker, and now it's not on speaker. So I got it up to my fucking head like an asshole.
Oh no!
Well, speaker wasn't half
So you're
bad.
saying that you have it up to your holding it up like a Karen calling because some black people are at the swimming pool.
There's the black kids here. I don't think they live here.
That's not funny. That's not funny. That ain't funny.
Yeah.
It ain't funny.
Yeah, it is, because everybody that's listening to this just pictured their own personal Karen in their mind, and everybody has one.
I remember I made a meme out of that woman, and it had her calling the cops saying, BTT's being unprofessional again. Send help. Anyway. All right. Hey, we got to go to Dustin Rhodes after the match. He's got something to say. We only got a couple of promos to play from this one. This is one of them. Here it is.
With the natural, the undefeated natural, Dustin Rhodes. And a couple of weeks ago, right on this broadcast, we saw Dustin with a very impressive victory over Larry Zbyszko. And then last week, on this same broadcast, it was Dustin and his partner Ricky Morton again with an impressive victory over Mr. Zbyszko and Terrence Taylor. But as we know, exclusively on pay-per-view on Super Sunday, May 19th, Superbrawl 91, in a computer match. It's been signed, Dustin. You and Terrence Taylor, one-on-one. What are your thoughts about wrestling that great veteran?
Well, Mr. Ross, you know Terry Taylor, I've told you once, and I'm going to tell you York Foundation again. I know nothing about computers, and I never want to know anything about computers. But Terry Taylor, you and me, Superbrawl May 19th in the Bayfront in a computer match, one-on-one. You better come with them boots laced up, Daddy, because I'm coming to get you and prove to the whole world that you and that computer of yours is not going to defeat the natural Dustin Rhodes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Ricky Morton dropping by. It's going to be a great one, exclusively on pay-per-view, Super Sunday, May 19th, and we'll have more on World Championship Wrestling right after this timeout.
Well, Dustin's fired up. Doc, did you have anything from it?
Well, Dustin never wants to know anything about computers.
Well, he's computer phobic.
Well, somebody should explain to him that in about 8 to 10 years, he can get free pornography that way.
I mean, I don't know about that, because in 10 years, that's 2001.
Yeah.
It's not like maybe about like 2008, maybe. So maybe like 18 years, 17 years later. Your access. Bro, Harper, you know who told me? You know who told me about online porn?
Huh.
Joe came.
Probably so.
No, I'm telling you. One day he was talking to me and he goes, I don't know. I called him for something. This is back when Joe used to talk to me, man. I don't know what I did, man. He disowned me. Anyway, I called him and had to ask him. So he said, "Bro, you got to hurry up, bro. I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle of something." Like, what is it? Hey, bro, look. Come on, bro. I was almost on the perfect video on Pornhub. Does that sound like Joe Kane, though?
That's nice.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And I was like,
come on,
like, you got a what? I was like, you got a what? Porn? He's like, yeah, bro, you ain't never heard of it? And I swear that was like 2007-ish, 2008. I was like, no, I haven't. Not at this point. He's like, oh yeah, bro, they got everything.
See, I was always afraid to do it because he always said, oh, that's how you get viruses.
And that's why you only do it from your phone and not your computer, right?
Yeah.
Smart move. Doc could tell you all about the viruses he gets on his.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right. Well, we go to commercial. We come back. The next match is Big Josh versus Jim Corbett. And I don't know, Doc. I got nothing from this one.
Bro, I'm quickly losing interest in anything that Big Josh is doing unless he's got a pissing bear.
I had somebody message me asking about that because we were talking about that not that long ago. What is this pissing bear and monkey doing the Burger King thing? I'm like, just wait. If you're a patron, especially.
Be a patron.
We'll get to it.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about it on the main show years ago. I just don't know which show it was on. Like, it's on YouTube, the first discussion we had about it. So it's out there if anybody wanted to look for it.
Who the hell thought that Big Josh was over enough to warrant the cost of getting a bear? Never mind the fact that thing could decide it's hungry at any moment. We'll get there in a couple.
Yeah, how much do you think that shit cost?
Let's table that because I'm going to tell you how much the set costs for Oz, and we'll figure out how much the bears cost and the Oz set all together. So how much they wasted on all that. And Sullivan didn't even say what the monkey cost, so that's a whole nother discussion. They killed that monkey, bro. It's messed up. Doc, any other thoughts on this before I keep going?
No.
Big Josh wins. Enough of that. So then we go to the next match, and it's I actually went a little bit too far, but it is Ron Simmons versus Snake Watson. At the very beginning of the match, Ron Simmons pile drives the piss out of Watson. Here it comes. Bam!
Show that again. That was attempted murder.
It was the first spot in the match.
Straight to the super kicks.
Look how he bounced up. That was a nice pile.
Did he lose him on the way up?
A little, but it looked good. I mean, it was fine.
Okay.
And then we got a pitch from Teddy Long, and Long says he'll be at the pay-per-view to see Butch Reed beat Simmons. And Ron Simmons eventually wins with a spine buster.
That spine buster was tough, too.
Ron Simmons, man. He's badass.
Run fuck with
Chris Zaha likes to say. What's wrong, Harper?
Nothing. I'm trying to get this goddamn speakerphone back on.
You can't get it back to speaker?
No, so I'm just sitting here with it to my head like an ass. The fuck? Oh, God.
There should be a little button on the screen where you can turn it to speaker. Like, seriously. It didn't sound bad on speaker. It was just Susie. You told us what it was.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to.
BTT Help Desk. How can I help you?
Sir, have you rebooted the machine just to make sure that the Everything's okay there, and you cleared your cash and all that stuff?
Yes. Still can't get it, huh?
Well, I forgot. I don't know what the fuck to hit, bro.
You sound the exact same as you did on speaker.
Oh, yeah, but I forgot I want this to my fucking side of my head.
No, I know. So put it back. If you touch your screen, you should be able to get back to speaker. There should be like a little option. Maybe not.
Maybe not. Oh my God.
You want to hang up and you want me to call you back and see if that works? Because you were on speaker when we called you.
Yeah.
Hang up. We'll call you back.
All right.
Doc, any other thoughts on Snake Watson while I'm about to call Harper back?
Snake is probably back in the back receiving treatment for what happened to him.
Yeah. Well, then we go to the Steiners, who are taking on Pat Rose and Joe Cruz, and I'm waiting for Harper to hang up. That way I can call him back.
Fuck.
What?
I'm trying to hang up.
Jesus Christ.
Here, I'm going to remove you from the call. I'm going to remove you from the call, okay?
Jesus.
That way you ain't got to worry about hanging up.
Fucking amateurs.
And then we're going to call you back in a minute.
Fucking amateurs. Well, you gave him the great advice of as he restarted his machine and has he cleared the cache. I mean, I don't know what else you can do at that point.
The Steiner brothers, Pat Rose and Joe Cruz. We did get a picture from Sting and Luger at the start. I'm not sure what Sting said, but it was without the howl, so it wasn't.
Can you
good.
give me 53-14?
53-14. So here's 5309. Oh, I know what's coming. Here it comes. A big old botch. I don't know what that was. So who's like Steiner was supposed to go over him, but Joe Cruz bent over. I don't know what the hell that was, Doc.
Okay, so you don't have a way to. We don't have a who's at fault there.
I mean,
I'm just wondering. I'm not from your experience in the ring. Who I was just.
It looked like Steiner was coming with a Steiner line, but then Cruz was already bent over when Steiner comes off. Yeah, Steiner was coming with a Steiner line, but Cruz was bent over like he thought Steiner was gonna like leapfrog him or go over him or something, and then was gonna come off the ropes and maybe come with the Steiner line. So I think Cruz messed up because Steiner was coming with the Steiner line. You could see his arm; he's starting to extend it, and then it goes awry.
Okay.
Steiner's dominated the piss out of this, and they just showed off their power the entire time. It ends with a DDT off the top rope by Scott Steiner as Rick Steiner holds up Cruz. They just look really, really good here. And that was my notes, man. Dominant as usual, not unexpected, and here comes the top rope DDT. Really good stuff from the Steiners. Let's see if we can get Harper back in this one. Any other thoughts, Doc, while we're waiting for Harper to join?
I'm curious to see how they're going to get out of this with the Steiners and versus Lexi and Stinger.
Yeah.
Because, I mean,
no, he's not there yet.
The Steiners have to be the Steiners, and that's rough.
Yeah, I don't like how they did this either. Because you really don't want to see those two teams go at it.
I mean, I kind of do, but I kind of don't.
Nah, I don't.
I think there's. We talked about this last week. I think there's better options.
Yeah. I guess I don't. I'm not interested in seeing these teams. I know that much. All right. Well, I'm waiting for Harper to answer. We then go to another commercial, and then we go to Nikita Koloff. Nikita says he's gonna beat Luger's ass for the belt and kill him, but he's not, and he's gonna break Luger's spirit. Doc, do you have any thoughts on Nikita's promo?
I just
want to play it.
No, I was just looking at Missy during the whole. She was looking good.
Hey.
She's ready for the
Back?
pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Are you on speaker?
No. Fucking.
Oh, Jesus. Just turn the volume all the way up and just like sit it close to your ear.
That's what I'm doing.
Oh, okay. We need to get you a rubber band to put around your head.
Come on.
Wait. I can see it.
You can see what?
I see JYD is in the ring.
Hey, Mike, then you need to go back for the commercial and show him Missy because she's interviewing.
What's the timestamp, Doc?
I can see it now. They got Wildfire
Shoutout.
Tommy Rich. Extra light. Yeah, with the commercials, yeah.
Yeah, hold on. No, he wants you to see he wants you to see Missy. I'm trying to get to it. There she is.
There you go.
All right. So here it comes.
She's ready for the pay-per-view. Yeah.
The Burger King commercial. All right, here it is. Well, let's listen to it since we're going to watch it.
And I'm Missy Hyatt, and this is Nikita Koloff, who, in my opinion, should be the United States heavyweight champion. I mean, I saw the tape from the Meadowlands. You should have the belt around your waist.
Yeah, I've reviewed the tape too. But better than reviewing the tape, I was in the match. I heard the referee count 1, 2, 3. But you know what? I don't care, Luger. I don't care right now about the 1, 2, 3. Je t'entends, Lex Luger. I don't care how much WCW gives me in fine. I don't care. You know what, Lex Luger, one thing's for sure. Maybe I don't have the belt around my waist, but you, Lex Luger, don't have the belt around your waist either. Oh, when it's over, when it's all said and done, Lex Luger, the show will stop. When it's all said and done, the people are going to see that not only am I going to break your back, not only am I going to break your neck with Paruski Sabataha. When it's all over, Lex Luger,
making up words.
I'm not going to be satisfied until I break your spirit.
Okay, two things here. Harper, you see Missy?
Look at that old broad.
That's what I was thinking. Look at that woman on the right side.
Who the fuck is that?
What is up with her hair?
I don't know, bro. She looks like she's probably had somebody killed.
She just looks mad because they won't let her smoke in here. And it's been a while since she's been able to fire up as 70 Sports would say, a heater.
No, a lung dart.
A lung dart. She hadn't been able to heat a lung dart in about an hour and 25 minutes, and she's getting testy.
How much hairspray she got in her hair? Jesus Christ.
That's a hard woman right there.
Yeah, for real.
There's no way she's still alive.
No way.
She's younger than you think she is, though. I think I agree. She's dead now.
Yeah.
Well, maybe.
We're probably looking at that woman going, oh, she's about 60 and she's probably 40 years old.
Nah, she's probably about 57 right there.
Nah.
Yeah, probably something like that, 57.
Bro, Ron Wright was younger than 57 and Smokey, and he looked older than that.
I tell you, Missy looks good with that short hair.
She's ready to roll for the pay-per-view.
You like that, huh, Harper?
Yeah, she's a beautiful woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd see.
Someday she's gonna get over herself and come on our show.
Yeah, one of these days she's gonna realize, where you need to be. All right, let's go to the next match because we're halfway through the review portion. Ricky Morton and Tommy.
Christ.
Yeah, it's long. Ricky Morton and Tommy Rich and JYD. Yes, these are still the 6-man champs versus Mike Thor, Randy Tatum, and Greg Sawyer. JR is comedy on commentary. He's He's talking about JYD weighed in at 310 pounds, but it must have been before lunch. Because he definitely is more than 310 pounds here. He's just laying into his old friend, the Junkyard Dog. Jim Ross continues plugging the controversy in Tokyo that we continue to hear about related to the Flair and Fujinami match, but that'll be settled at Superbrawl. So have no fear. Whatever that controversy is, that unless you knew what was going on and you had seen it, we don't even know what happened with this controversy, but it'll be settled at Superbrawl. So just order that one. Don't worry about anything else. And then, Doc, this goes way too long.
No, it didn't.
Way too long. Yeah, it did.
Not if you know how to fast forward.
Oh.
This shit was 2 hours long. I had to catch up somewhere, and this is where.
Bruh, this was like a 12-minute match. It finally ends. Ricky Morton, things break down. He pins one of the guys with a head scissors takeover, and that was how it all ended.
Dude, this might get the Rolex for eating up all this time. And again, not gonna hate on the show, but 2 hours is 2 hours is still too long.
Well, after that match, it was long. That match was painful to get through. Nothing was happening. They were just literally eating up time. Paul Lee has Lex Luger on the danger zone in the back, and Lex is pacing back and forth. He makes some good points. He wants to know, why hasn't Nikita been reprimanded after Nikita attacked him and, to be honest with you, damaged the belt? I mean, it kind of made sense to me. Like, the dude, okay, I understand you're not going to fine everybody who attacks everybody, but he basically destroyed the belt. So it kind of made sense. And Luger's pissed off, and he just wants Nikita at this point to settle this thing. Doc, did you have thoughts on this?
Well, it goes back to the idea that Nikita just cut a kick-ass promo for him. Luger's hot, and we're not going to pay this off at the pay-per-view. So what the fuck are we doing?
That's a problem, which we discussed last week as well. So here we are. We're still cutting promos about it, but we got to have a tag match with Luger and Sting. We can't go to that.
That nobody's heated up about.
Nobody want. I'm sorry. I just don't care about that match. I'm invested in this Nikita and Luger thing at this point.
Right.
All right. So we come back. Sid Vicious is taking on Lynn Fields. Sid just destroys this guy. Power bombs him.
Look at this
Fields
poor
is
bastard.
dead. Yeah, you see him, Harper?
With his farmer's tan.
Can you show me 119.45? This is a rough landing and should have finished the match.
So we're at 119.41. Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Did you see that, Harper?
Yeah, the poor bastard.
Then if you go 1 minute ahead to 120.45, God. 120.45.
That dude looks like Mike Johnson in the ring.
I just gave him a Jesus. Look at this.
Oh, yeah, here it comes. Watch this.
This is something.
He's...
That looks like how I would take a bump.
Dude, I remember years ago on a show you had brought up there are these things where it's like a little people tossing event.
Midget tossing.
You can't say that.
I know. Well, I mean, somebody who would do that would still use that word.
That's what that looked like. I saw that on a YouTube, like what they actually do, which is foul. Let me say this. That's wrong. How they throw little people, bruh. I saw it on a video and I was like, that's attempted murder.
Is that what Half-Pint does to get by in the world?
Come on.
I'm trying to be serious here.
Well, we can start joking around about him again since his team won this weekend. So he's not going to, probably not going to kill himself.
The point I was trying to make was that's what it looked like when Sid just tossed this poor sap. And then the Smoky Mountain paramedics come out and roll an injured man out the ring and dump him on a cart. At least he's face up. And Sid says, "Get out of here." He's getting it again. Jesus Christ. Sid, that's attempted murder. That's a crime what he did that dude just now.
I don't want to spoil anything, but
what?
We're not going to have Sid too much longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, then he becomes Sid Justice.
Yeah, we're getting close to the end here, man.
Yeah.
He'll be back. He's got people to stab.
Something that now we're not getting close to the end on. Jim Ross and Paul E throw a clip of Flair versus Fujinami in Tokyo.
I don't like this. Play this for a second and watch Paulie. I don't like him distracting from the main analyst talking about the world title.
Okay. Here we go.
Welcome back, everyone, to World Championship Wrestling. Jim Ross back at ringside. As we have learned in this broadcast, on Super Sunday, May 19th, a rematch has been signed for the WCW World's Heavyweight Championship. The man recognized by WCW is the legendary Nature Boy Ric Flair. But a man that also has earned legendary status in his own country is Tatsumi the Dragon Fujinami. The Japanese press and officials fully believe that Fujinami is the world's heavyweight champion. Let's go back to Tokyo and see exactly what happened before 65,000 fans. But the battle continues.
Okay, I'll pause it here. I'm going to play the rest in a second, Doc. Go ahead and tell me
I bet
why Paul
if Paul watched that today, he'd go, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, for real.
And it's not that he couldn't do it during a different angle, but for the world title picture, he shouldn't have been doing that.
Fair enough.
And I say that as a guy who I watch the beginning of SmackDown now, if I can, every Friday night if I'm home, because it's usually them first. And everything Paulie does is tremendous. Every single move and action and face he does is perfect every time.
I get a text from Doc every Friday while I'm at high school football with SmackDown started off hot again.
I mean, Paulie flipping the monster drink on Michael Cole's notes off camera. Tremendous.
All right, let's watch now this Fujinami and Flair clip that shows what went down in Japan.
Here's in the ring. Reversal to a backslide. Nobody to count. But the fans are counting for him. Look at Fujinami. He's looking for the referee. He said, I got him. Hooks him again. Well, Alfonso is the only official of record in this contest. And they've got to get him back around. They're working on him out there to try to get him back. Oh, he threw Flair over the top rope. Fujinami just threw Ric Flair over the top rope. Did Alfonso see it? That's the big question. Alfonso looking that way. That should be a disqualification. You see Tiger Hattori in there. And now, pick up, vertical suplex. Well, not over the top rope is an automatic disqualification in this particular match. My question is, did Alfonso see it? There's a guillotine. And a 3 count. Hattori counted him out. Fujinami has won this match. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, that match was contested under WCW rules, meaning that a man that throws his opponent over the top rope should be disqualified. That's the basis of this entire situation. Well, after the match, a press conference was held with what the Japanese media thought the new WCW World's Heavyweight Champion, Tatsumi the Dragon Fujinami. Well, Ric Flair interrupted that press conference and took back the championship belt. Now, the referee of record did not make the 1, 2, 3 count. So the way that we see it right here is that Nature Boy Ric Flair, because of that disqualification, is still. Wait a minute. There's.
What do you think this is? Where's that fish up there? Who are you? This is my belt.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. We got big problems here. Flair's got the belt.
You want this? You come get in America. This is mine.
The referee of record saw Fujinami throw Flair over the top rope. The match should have stopped at that point. The pin should never have counted. But to settle the big dispute, it will be on Super Sunday, May 19th, Ric Flair and Tatsumi Fujinami. I'll talk to Ric Flair live on this broadcast right after this Timeout.
Okay, Doc, I've been wanting to get your opinion on this since I knew it was coming. How do you think they handled this whole thing over in Japan and now, and how they're translating the story for us American fans?
Well, first of all, the black circle over his face is Bush League.
So what's the purpose of that?
To stop, so that the I guess that since that's the footage in Japan, they didn't want the fans to see the blood. That's the only thing I could think of.
But he wasn't bleeding.
Yeah, he was. His head was wrapped up in the post.
Yeah, he was busted open. He was busted open, and that's why I think they were completely covering up his
That's stupid.
I also know this. No matter what happened in Japan, there's not a chance in hell I'm showing my champion with his arms, shoulders to the mat for 3 on my TV.
I mean, I think it's all right to show it as long as you explain it the way JR did.
I guess, but I ain't doing it.
I mean, bro, you act like Flair ain't been pinned before in various dusty finishes and stuff. I mean, come on.
No.
Bro, we did a whole Starcade where Dusty thought he was the champion years ago. And he shows up at the studio and he's like, oh, no, there was controversy.
I've never understood the Japanese press conferences afterwards, and I think that's where Tony Khan gets those media scrums, and hopefully he's learned his lesson about having those.
Fuck that.
Unless you're advancing angles, maybe you shouldn't do that.
And
by the way,
that shit's got to be boring as fuck, too. And it's like 1 o'clock in the morning.
By the way, Doc, you and I first predicted it. I'm not saying it's happened yet. Who knows by the time you all hear this. But I believe Wade Keller reported that it's being looked into that CM Punk's contract may be bought out.
Yeah.
You and I said, we said before that even came to fruition, we thought he'd be done. Just saying.
Well, here's the thing. If you're Tony, he should be. You know why? You're still drawing without him. And I like CM Punk, and I do think he's a star, and he's one of my favorite wrestlers. But if he can't stay healthy, because now this is 2 major injuries.
That is true.
Then this is an opportunity for Tony to get a hold of his business in all directions, 360.
Right. It's like a new season.
He has the opportunity, because if he doesn't get a hold of this, Mike, nobody knows wrestlers better than you. It's going to be open season if he doesn't.
Oh, that's why I think they all need to be done.
Come on.
No, I do. I mean, they all, in reality, to show that you're the sheriff.
Yep.
All of them got to be done. But like that's my only problem with the whole thing. Is like, okay, so you get rid of Punk, but what does that really like? You still got them toxic idiots back there.
Come on.
The three stupid amigos.
You're gaslighting.
Shut up, Harper.
That's 2 words I can't fucking stand here now. Is toxic and gaslighting.
Well, hold on. Before you go there, I know why you're saying that. I mean it in the sense of I've worked in like what I would call 15 years ago, like an actual toxic work environment where there was just a lot of mess. I'm not talking about the way you're thinking about it. That's what I'm using that term. Like, I'm using it as them dudes are toxic. Like, as far as in terms of wrestling, they are toxic. They are a problem. And if they're bringing down the actual promotion, morale, attitude of everybody, then that's a problem.
Or if they're giving all the other workers ideas about how they can get over on the company.
It's that old thing. It's that old thing, Harper. Like you got a football team, and I never forget. Sean Payton told his story when he started coaching the Saints. Wayne Gandy, who was always offsides, false start, had a freaking recliner chair in his freaking locker, like next to his locker. He was just mighty comfortable, kicking his feet up all the time. And Sean Payton was like, I got to change the culture of this place, man. This all lackadaisical, and that's why y'all ain't never been more than 8-8 in the last 3 years. Well, 10-6 technically with Hazlitt 1 year, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And he was just like, I got to change this. Y'all are too comfortable. And then, not only on top of that, we got some toxic people in this room. And you know what? What do you do with that? You cut the head off the snake and you get the toxic people out of there. And then all of a sudden now you got an actual team of people who can work together and fight towards a common goal. That's what I'm talking about when I say them dudes are toxic. They are a problem.
But I don't like to do this, and I don't do it very often, mainly because there's not ever really been a need for it before. But I got to say, Mike, you were right about something. You've been the one beating the drum for 3 years now that there's no way that locker room is all happy, grins and smiles like they try to make it seem like.
Dude, y'all didn't listen to, I listened to like the first probably 10 of their, I forget the name of the podcast that AEW has. It's maybe called Unrestricted or something. And I listened to these dudes fillet each other nonstop. Like they were blowing each other to a point that it was just nauseating.
It was toxic.
They were all, oh, it's so great and we all get along and it's so wonderful and I love this and I love that and there's no problems and there's never trouble and we can talk about things when we're bothered and we can say this and that, and it just went on and on and on with all their talents. And that's a, God, I hate this term. Harper's gonna get mad at me. That's a red flag. That is a red flag. Whenever somebody is selling things to you like it's
flag. I use red flag all the time.
When something sounds too good to be true, that's a red flag.
Yeah.
And them dudes threw up the red flag very early. And I remember telling Doc, I said, Doc, I've only been in mud show locker rooms, but I'm telling you, this whole bull crap about everybody getting along is the furthest thing from reality than anything you can imagine. There's no way in hell, especially at that level, because at that level, the egos are even worse than they are on the Outlaw Mud Show indies. And man, it's just, there's red flags and them dudes, everything they said was a red flag. I mean, look, Harper don't like to talk about it because he's still active. But I know good and well, he sits in the back at some of these shows and looks at these dudes and their egos. And I know for a fact he thinks it, but he doesn't say it. So I'm saying it for him.
Yeah.
He knows what I'm talking about. That's why he's chuckling. Right? It's crazy how on a freaking independent show you will see guys not argue, but brother in the back when they're in each other's faces, and 2 seconds later they're talking about how the dude messed up in a ring and that dude sucks and I don't know why they booked it like this and I shouldn't have had to put my shoulders down, blah blah blah. You think it's that much better in AEW? No, it's the same stuff because there's more money on the table. It's even worse.
Say shit, bro. Fuck, as long as you paying me, I'll be like
Bobby
Bobby Blaze.
Most people don't think like me and you.
I would think like that.
You and I are built like that. Oh, how much you want to pay me a year to do this? Really?
For real.
That's the most amount of money I've ever made in my life.
If that.
Oh, that's all you want? You want me to do what for that amount of money? Sure. Yeah. That's me and you. And then me and you are the type that can laugh about it after. Not these fools. They got egos. They can't let it go. They want to get paid and be Mr. Big Stuff. Well, guess what? It don't always work that way. Thanks for the rant, Doc. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Can we go to Flair now?
Juicy Johnny, goddammit.
Somebody's got to be Juicy Johnny. Somebody's got to be the Tennessee Torpedo. Somebody's got to just let it roll off their back like a duck on a June bug. I'm not going north and south. No, I'm not coming east and west. I'm going north and south. Blind, crippled, and crazy. Ages 8 to 80. Whoa, Tracy, hold on. All right, let's go to Flair now. He's cutting a promo after the commercial, talking about what we just saw.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to World Championship Wrestling. Jim Ross here at ringside, and making his way to ringside, the WCW World's Heavyweight Champion, as has been announced. It will be a rematch to settle the international dispute. The Japanese and many fans feel that Tatsumi the Dragon Fujinami is the rightful WCW champion. That's not the way we see it. It will be a rematch at Superbrawl with Ric Flair and Mr. Fujinami. Rick, what are your thoughts leading into that event?
Well, my thoughts go exactly like this. And you better learn to love it, punk, and keep your mouth shut. For 10 years, one man has been the predominant figure in the world title picture, and it's me! And nobody from 8,000 miles away is gonna walk in to St. Petersburg, Florida, when I got a limousine a mile long. 10 beautiful women at my side, and a party going on at the Hyatt Regency, and take this from me. Dig it! Ha ha! Woo! The bottom line is whether Tatsumi Fujinami likes it or doesn't like it. He has to walk that aisle. And he has to rise to the occasion. Fujinami, ask Luger what it's like. Ask Sting what it's like. Big butterflies, a cotton mouth, knowing you got to face the man. Woo!
Fans, that event on Super Sunday, May 19th, to settle the international dispute for the World's Heavyweight Championship. Flair and Fujinami. We'll talk more about it, and we'll return to the ring. But first, listen to this.
All right, he gets the Rolex. Doc, what were your thoughts as he's talking about no one's taking a title from him, and he's still going to have his 10 rats at the Hyatt?
Well, he's trying to make Fujinami the heel, but he can't use the times are changing. You can't just do what you did last week where you made the slanty eye thing.
Oh, he could have in 91. Nobody would have said nothing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he could have used the J word for all that in 91.
What's that?
Maybe.
Oh.
Ain't no maybe. It's 1991. Ain't no internet. There's no Twitter. Nobody. It's not going to go viral, and nobody's
They
calling
could have
a
said that
station.
back then.
He could have said it and got away. Well, I'm actually trying to think about it. Actually, they bleeped out Cornette when he said SLANTIJA.
Well, that's different.
It's different because of how he said it. The words that he strung together.
It's because
Jesus Christ.
You know, what the fuck? Right?
Okay, you're saying in 91?
Harper do not reflect the other host of the BTT Independent Wrestling Podcast. At this time, the Menace and the Doc would like to distance from these unfortunate and hurtful comments.
I mean, back then, they could have said that shit on TV. Fucking nobody would have batted a fucking eye.
Mike,
no, but that's what I'm saying. They
Mike,
bleeped
can you
out.
text Lady Harper and have her go grab Harper's shovel?
For what?
Oh man. It's funny because I'm telling you, they bleeped out Cornette when he said it. So I don't think he could have got away with it. He got away with the gesture last week when he made the little motion with his finger, with his eye.
I think that's worse because you can't bleep that out.
Yeah, he's got a point, Doc.
I didn't say they got it right. I just said what you can and can't do.
But you know what's funny is think about JYD, what he did. That was actually a bazillion times worse.
Now you know what it's like to hold somebody.
Now you know how I feel when somebody try to buy you.
Come on.
And then he said,
"You sound like the voice from the Hulk Hogan Rock and Wrestling cartoon with fucking JYD."
Oh no, we don't need no Toyota. And the face he made.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't think he could have got away with saying that. Now that I think of, I mean, he could have got away with it. They just may have bleeped it. I'm actually surprised Flair didn't say it, 'cause he's so fed up right now. I mean,
right.
Why? You know, you figured he'd just go scorched earth right there. And I don't care. The promo though, Doc, did you think it was effective?
Of course.
Yeah.
So after all that, and once again, the views and opinions of Hardbody Harper and those words he used are his and only his, and not of that of BTT.
I tell you, we got a worse word for Asians than that one.
Oh yes, they do. Much worse. I know what you're talking about.
What are they?
Please don't say it on it. No, do not
can't
say that.
It.
It is much worse.
Yeah.
Barry Windham versus Brian Pillman come out and they tear it up. They tear it up. They give them a lot of time, and this is good stuff, pal. So, Doc, I'm going to throw to you if your notes didn't eat it up.
I need 138.20.
All right, we just went past that, but I'm going to go back to it because I know exactly what you're talking about here.
I need to know what Pillman does here. What does he do? Right here.
He's fixing his junk.
Okay.
Yeah. But look at this.
I think his balls may have fucking slapped.
That's a hell of a bump right there.
Yeah, it is. Pillman drop kicks Barry, who's going to the top rope, and then Barry takes the bump to the outside. That's a Look, man, in 2022 eyes, some might not think much of that, but that's freaking great. And then Pillman's going to come off the top rope and hit Barry with a double axe handle. That's big stuff in 91.
But no one does a double axe handle anymore.
Just because you got 50 million freaking idiots flipping and diving, so an axe handle don't mean nothing. You can thank the freaking Young Bucks for stuff like that.
The only thing I don't like about this, and this is a small nit, is that we're going to see it again at the pay-per-view.
Oh, well, that's a good point. Yeah.
Can I get 140-40?
140-40. Sure. Let's go to it. Hold up. Okay, 140-35.
He sticks in with this.
Oh, shit.
That looked rough. I had that one. I had the wrong timestamp written down for it, so I'm glad you had it. Because it was supposed to be almost like a suplex, but it turned into a brain buster of sorts. But it was unintentional brain buster. Oh. Yeah, that hurt. Okay, what else you got, Doc?
Did Pillman bleed in this match?
I didn't notice it.
Okay, I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I don't think he's bloody.
At the end.
Oh, I got you. Well, speaking of the end, did you have anything else, or can I go to the finish?
No, this was a tremendous match. These two guys were great.
So Pillman's getting beat down. Pillman turns the tide on Barry, and he's giving it to Barry. Pillman comes off the top rope, hits Windham with a missile drop kick, but Barry kicks out. Then Pillman cradles Windham, and he's going to pin him when Arn Anderson runs in to break it up. Shades of the old Horseman and how they used to do it. But then Bobby Eaton comes out to save Pillman, who's being beat down by Barry and Arn. I thought this was a phenomenal match, and now that I look at it, Pillman may have gotten a little accidental juice. Because now I'm looking for it. Oh, yeah, he's busted open.
I was watching this on my phone instead of the computer because I was, well, I don't want to give away too much, but I had to do that. So it was hard to see.
So we get a DQ, but Doc, I see what you're saying about, we're going to see this at the pay-per-view again, so it's kind of messed up.
But I'll watch it again.
Yeah, I'll watch it again. These two, any day. Day. And like we said, Bobby Eaton is going to come out to make the save, which makes sense because he and Arn are going to be going at it, TV title-wise. So there you have it. So after that match, they're going to go to Lex Luger and Sting versus Lou Fabiano and Jeff Stone. And the only reason they put this match on was because they wanted these two to have a tag match or another tag match before the pay-per-view. And that's all they're doing here. And this is... I could have did without this. But I had a note from this, Doc, I wanted to mention to you. During the match, we're told Jim Herd is going to be answering questions on the hotline, and he'll be on the hot seat. And I just kept thinking at that moment, imagine if there was a Twitter in 1991 and Jim Herd was on it.
Oh.
And he was answering tweets as people roasted him. That would have been tremendous.
He would have gotten sad and eaten a whole pizza.
You think he'd have done the Vine everything in the Pizza Hut cooler?
No.
Oh, come on.
These motherfuckers don't know what's going on. Fuck them.
Yeah, that's what he drinks. Scotch, huh?
How many times do I have to say it? How many times do I have to say it? Fuck the fans.
Do you know how many times he probably said that?
We're giving them this good shit, and they can't even appreciate it. Fuck them.
Yeah. If you order a large with a 2-liter of Coke, you get the NCAA Final Four basketball free.
Man, I had that basketball.
I've always wanted that motherfucking basketball.
I had it. That was the UNLV Duke game.
Yeah.
I had the mini one. I think they had a full-size one and a mini, though. I had the mini. Yeah. Was still at my mom's house when Katrina hit.
Oh, shit.
Along with a lot of stuff. All right, Luger and Sting obviously win. Jim Ross and Paul Lee close the show, and then they throw to a clip of the press conference from Tokyo, and we see that as they're going off air, and it's kind of a replay of what we already saw. We didn't talk about this, but did you notice the sign, Doc, how it says 91 Starcade Tokyo Dome?
Yeah.
Okay, we didn't mention that. And that's how they go off air. And I guess we'll have to see what happens from here and leading into next week as we head towards Superbrawl. So we need to rate it, hand out some Rolexes or whatnot. Before we do so, remember, in order to get our Superbrawl review where Flair takes on Fujinami again, you got to go to tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. That's tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Great way to support the show. You get tons of extra content and whatnot. So, Doc, let's rate it. Hand out the Rolex. What are you going to rate it first?
Well, it was long, but it was good. And I may have gotten spoiled a little bit by last week's hour-long effort. But, hey, we are still not shitting the bed yet, which is always a positive. Always a positive to not shit the bed.
Yep.
B+.
There you go.
Yeah, I got to agree. B+.
I'll give it a B.
Why you hate wrestling?
I don't. Anything that's fucking 2 hours long can't be more than a fucking B. I'm sorry.
Unless it's football.
Yeah.
Harper gospel coming at us tonight. Anything more than 2 hours, never getting more than a B. All right. So, Rolex. I think I already said I'm giving mine to Flair. Who are you going with, Doc?
I'm going to give 2.
Oh, okay.
Pillman and Wyndham.
See, I was going to give mine to Barry for fucking taking that bump off the top.
Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with either.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, before we get out of here, I want to remind everyone, make sure you don't forget that Harper is still doing his life advice, relationship advice.
Y'all been?
video shout-outs.
You ain't got no internet. How would you know if you have any requests?
Oh, on my phone.
All you got to do is email him to chrisharper16 wildcat with a K at gmail.com. That's chrisharper16 wildcat with a K at gmail.com. Email Harper. Tell him what you want in your video, your life advice, relationship advice, whatever you want to cut a promo on somebody. He will do it all, and then just PayPal him $20 to cc30388cc at yahoo.com. You will see everything I just said in the show description. All right, Doc. Last week, before we got out of here, we went like another 30 minutes talking about Ron Fuller, but I'm going to throw it to you. What do you have before we shut down shop this week and ride off into the sunset? On our Kawasaki Mule.
Man, it's been a long week already. I'm tuckered. The shoot jobs are trying to put boats to us all.
Jesus Lord, bro.
So I'm gonna go ahead and say I got nothing.
They're trying to kill us, bro.
They're trying to.
It's been rough. Like real rough.
Can't catch me because the rabbit done died.
That's right.
Dun.
Yeah, it's been rough.
You know, Harper, you get that reference, Mike?
No, I have no clue what you're talking about. Probably some kind of rock band or something, that I would have no clue about.
It's just some good time, fun time, rock and roll. And
I think it's funny that you don't even want to tell me. You don't even tell me what it is. Hey Harper, how badass was the freaking aircraft carrier toy?
Bro, yep. That thing was fucking huge, bro. You see, that's one of those things like I don't even ask for because no fucking you ain't gonna get it. I'm not gonna ask for a fucking new car.
Doc, do you know what we're talking about?
No.
The GI Joe aircraft carrier toy?
No.
Are you too good for it? We're nerds, huh? Because we know what that is. Is that what you're gonna say?
I'm aware that GI Joe had an aircraft carrier. Fuck nuts.
Yeah. That thing.
The USS Flag.
What Harper? Would you say it was 7.5 feet?
Why did you bring it up right now?
It was like 6.5 feet long or something.
Well, we were talking about. I posted it in a Facebook group because not Super 70 Sport. There's a GI Joe Twitter that tweeted it out. And I was like, bruh, like I remember wanting that thing and there was no chance in hell.
No. If you had that thing, you were a spoiled only child.
Or you weren't an only child, you just had rich parents.
Yeah. Your dad owned the car dealership.
Well, because you said something else to me that was, I think it was either you or somebody else. The thing is, even if you could afford it,
where you
what kid could fit that in their bedroom?
That's what I'm saying. But okay, picture the average kid's bedroom. Like the bedroom y'all grew up in, or maybe y'all's kid's bedroom.
I mean, most rooms like that are 10 by 10.
Exactly. So where the fuck would you put that? And you got all your other bullshit in the fucking room. All the other fucking toys and the He-Man and GI Joe shit thrown all over the fucking place.
I mean, you should see Doc's mansion, bro. Latrell and the other one would have room for that.
That's true. Hey man, you ain't got why you gotta live meager if you ain't poor.
That's right.
I did that at one phase of my life and it wasn't fun. All I'm out here to do, you're making fun of me, mate, but all I'm trying to do is give my children a better upbringing than I had. And there's nothing wrong in that. There's nothing wrong in that except you're a heel.
Okay. Anyway.
Remember the Cobra Terradrome?
Yeah, that was a nice one too.
That thing was badass. A friend of mine, Randy, had that. That thing was awesome.
Yeah. You know what was badass? I thought it was badass at the time was the He-Man Snake Mountain.
Yeah, I still got mine.
My cousin
it had the thing where you could talk into it, like the
fucking microphone thing. Yeah, you'll move the mouth. It was supposed to be like the mountains talking.
Bruh, like these kids don't get it, man. We had to do stuff like that. That was like top of the notch toys.
And just think how cheap it was to make that shit. Cheap fucking plastic. And I think that I think like Castle Grayskull and that shit, I think they were all legit hand painted, because if you look at them, like the eyes are black and they're not all exactly alike.
Yeah, I think you're right.
There's somebody in fucking China with a fucking can of, or in Hong Kong back then with a can of black spray paint, just
Harper,
for fucking 8 hours a day for fucking 10 cents an hour.
Okay, are we 100% sure they were being made in China back then?
No, that's what I'm saying, or maybe Hong Kong, because back then that was another thing, made in Hong Kong, and I couldn't tell you the last time I seen that, something made in Hong Kong.
You got a point. But you're right, because I remember a cousin of mine had Castle Grayskull, and I had one, and I remember like the paint was different.
Yeah, they all look a little bit different,
which is crazy to think about, because nowadays with mass manufacturing, if I can,
they didn't have their ISO 9000 standards in place.
Yeah,
bro, kayfabe, what are you doing, Doc?
They had the what?
Jesus Christ, Ixnay on the Xnay.
What is that, like a new printer?
Eject. He just fucking broke kayfabe. God.
Was that a fighter plane?
It's time to get out of here. But
ISO 9000 is accepted quality and manufacturing standards. I don't know why he's pooping his britches over there. But
everything was airtight, brother.
Well, back then when we were kids, the globalists, if you will, you like that term? That's such a loaded term in 2022. Here's the thing: they found all this cheap labor, but they hadn't developed the in-country skill to be able to like develop the quality over there. So they
just say it. They hadn't exploited it yet.
Well, no, they hadn't. They hadn't given the indigenous people, the labor market there, the skills they need to be able to make their products at the high quality that the American consumer deserves and demands.
Well, on that note, I think we've solved international relations tonight, and we've had a lot of fun. So I think I'm gonna throw it to Harper, and he'll get us out of here, and we can get on our Kawasaki mules and ride off into the sunset, since we still do our podcast, unlike
Daddy Kawasaki, Stone Cold here.
Book it, bitch.